Hi, this is Leanne again from Global Media Networks with business news for the day. We have the World Bank Group said that its board of directors on Tuesday discussed the country partnership strategy for the financial year 2012 to 2016. Dramatically increasing the resources available for Sri Lanka to achieve ambitious development goals as a middle-income country, without disclosing actual figures. Now, the World Bank said that the CPS captures key development goals identified by the government and identifies three pillars that encapsulate these goals: facilitating private and public investments, supporting structural shifts in the economy, and improving living standards and social inclusion. We have the besieged Colombo stock market yesterday was inflicted with fresh wounds as it saw Rs 40 billion in value wiped off, with analysts pining it to contentious new rules announced by the Securities and Exchange Commission on Tuesday. We also have that the Securities and Exchange Commission has suspended the investment advisor role of Tampa-Brain Securities CEO Dina Vijayamana, who was also a part of the consortium of selling of the TFC shares to NSB. The fraudulent practices across business activities has risen over the past 2 years in Sri Lanka, with billions of rupees lost each year to economic crime. A new study showed some 83% of those surveyed by international accounting firms like KPMG in Sri Lanka felt incidences of fraud has increased over the last 2 years. We have the giant in Sri Lanka's broadcasting industry. The ABC Media Network launched its maiden television channel, Hero TV, at the auspicious time 6:02 a.m. yesterday morning. Now, Hero TV enters the pages of Sri Lanka's 3-decade television history with a revolution of being the television channel with the widest coverage from its test transmission state itself. Now, Hero TV will also be the first and only digital-enabled high-definition television channel in existence in the country. We have ONGC Videsh Limited has strongly pitched for an acquisition of oil and gas blocks in the Kaveri Basin and Mana in Sri Lanka. At the same time, OVL has reportedly turned down the offer to jointly bid for these blocks in Sri Lanka with the Russian gas major Gazprom. The issue came up for active discussion during a recent meeting held by the National Security Advisor Shiv Shankar Menon in South Block to review the progress of implementation of key project initiatives with Sri Lanka. Then we have John Keel's Holdings, jump profit at John Keel's Holdings. As per provisional results released for the year ended 31st March 2012, John Keel's Holdings recurring profit attributable to equity holders jumped 40% to 8.36 billion, whilst overall bottom line rose by 19% to 9.7 billion rupees. Now, recurring group profit before tax had risen by 37% to 11.5 billion rupees, whilst the overall group profit before tax was staggering at 12.91 million rupees, up by 21%. Over the financial year 2011, whilst profit after tax topped 11 billion mark. Now, John Keel's Holdings' bottom line is also the highest, beating previous best of 8.09 billion rupees by Commercial Bank in 2011. The highest after-tax profit has been 13 billion rupees by Bukit Dara in the financial year of 2011. Bukit is yet to announce its financial year 2012 full-year results, and the first 9 months Bukit had made 11.75 billion rupees in pre-tax and 9.2 billion in after-tax, though its bottom line is now low at 3.7 billion rupees. We also have a Supreme Sats Supreme Sat Private Limited signed an investment agreement with the Board of Investment in Sri Lanka yesterday to the tune of $20 million with very ambitious plans to take Sri Lanka into the global space race. This will further increase to $320 million. The company's long-term plan is to utilize the planned orbital slot of Sri Lanka, which is located at 50 degrees east, and launch the Supreme Sat, the country's first ever telecommunications satellite. Looking at some world news, we have Nasdaq Omex Group has been sued by an investor who claimed the exchange operator was negligent in handling orders for Facebook shares following its initial public offering, causing losses for investors. In addition, a different civil lawsuit was filed against Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, IPO writers Morgan Stanley, and others, violating of security laws. We also have investors reversed steep US stock losses to finish the day roughly flat, though European stocks and the euro tumbled to 2012 lows amid growing chatter about the potential Greek exit from the eurozone. Then we have Asian markets were mixed on Thursday, while the euro resumed after falling overnight, touching its lowest level since July 2010, as European leaders failed to produce a breakthrough to the region's economic crisis. With that, I round up the news for today. Thank you very much for listening, and see you again tomorrow.